Tuesday, 27th of October. I've not been blogging much lately because I've had so much else to do and because I haven't had an awful lot to blog about that's in any way new. In the pear section, the dessert pear section of the orchard. This is lots of pomace. Our friend Mr. Howard of 146 Cider, do look his cider up online. Mills our fruit, he gets fruit from other places as well. And he brings the pomace back here and spreads it out over the ground. Note the huge number of fruit flies that it attracts. We bung it on the ground. It's got, it's got fibre, it's got some sugar in it, it's got potassium in it, and anyway, it's got to be dealt with. It may as well return to the earth. Yes, I know that chickens and pigs will eat it. We ain't got any chickens, we ain't got any pigs, and it's not realistic since we don't live on the orchard for us to have them. Although that might be a beautiful thing if we do ever get to live here in the future. But currently, the planning laws and our other commitments wouldn't allow that. October can be the loveliest month of the year. It's been quite wet. Here's the plums. They're dry. Some of the jobs that need doing. Well, grass needs to be mown. In fact, it's been so wet that A, the grass has grown very rapidly, and B, we haven't been able to mow it because our machinery is just adequate to the job, but not mowing sopping wet grass. It's just impossibly difficult to do that. So we're hoping if this light breeze and this beautiful sunlight continues a bit longer, we'll be able to get out there and do that. Amongst the other jobs will be to pick up all of these props. So we have to do a lot of propping this year because we had huge crops to support. And Julia's working through the apple store at the moment. And this is a commies pear. These trees here are commies pears, grown as pyramids, freely interpreted as pyramids. They were very, very badly hit in what I call the long winter of 2011 to 2013, when it did not stop raining for about 10 months, a bit more if that. And a lot of this disease, I've pruned these back quite hard. This year had a reasonably good crop, but unhappily we missed out a pre-blossom spray and they got a huge amount of scab like this, which means almost none of them came to market. However, they did go into perry, and I made some very nice perry. And anyway, we kept a few for ourselves, and this looks and feels just about right to eat now. Pears go from being underripe to crunchy and just edible, to crunchy and pleasantly edible, which this is now, and they move on to being melting, which is perfect. And once they reach that stage of being melting, absolutely running with juice. This one isn't quite there yet, obviously it won't reach that stage. You need to eat them, taste them as they're coming on. Once they reach that stage, they will then quickly deteriorate and go rotten from inside. They turn to grey mush and they're completely inedible. Then you can't even really press them very easily for perry. But this is just really nice. Doyenji commies. I like to sit down with some of these perfectly ripe and a bottle of Montbazillac, if you can get it, a sweet white wine from the Bergerac region of the Dordogne. It's about 1/10 of the price of Sauterne, and in my opinion it's probably just about as nice. I wouldn't like to pronounce on that because I'm not so rich I can afford to drink Sauterne. If you want to ever see something overpriced, go to the Dordogne, fly to Bordeaux or Bergerac, and travel to the town of Saint-Emilion, which is at the heart of the top end of the Bordeaux wine region. When you see wine now being sold for sort of 600, 700, 800 euros, not for a case, for a bottle. Shocking stuff. And it's down to super rich people, whether Chinese, Americans, Russians, whether they've got the money honestly or otherwise. And they want to impress, they want to super impress their guests at their billionaire mansions. So they buy the most expensive wines in the world, and there's only limited production, so the price gets chased up. But if you can get hold of a bottle of Montbazillac, then chilled Montbazillac with perfectly ripe pears is a wonderful treat. if you can get it. But anyway, today I'm doing some scything. There's a lot of, it's all a bit messy here, it usually is. There's a lot of weeds. We get some weed killer earlier in the year, but we sort of run out of time and other stuff to do and everything. So it's tidying up today. I'm going to do a bit more scything. I'm going to pick a few more of the Sturmer Pippins. I'll just briefly have a quick look at those before I finish this video. There's the pear section behind me. It's what we call Cobbetts Minor or Cobbetts B. This is Cobbetts Major or Cobbett A. And this variety of apple is called Sturmer Pippin. It's from East Anglia. It's a late keeping apple, very high acid, very high vitamin C. We tend not to pick this until November, although maybe we should have picked it a little earlier because quite a few have fallen. One of the faults of this apple, and it really does want a sunnier climate than Britain, one of its faults is it tends to develop this sort of grey, smudgy, greeny grey sort of mouldy look to it, and it renders it cosmetically unsaleable, which is a pity really, because it's quite a nice apple. It's a long keeper. I mean, these ones with this sort of it's like as if somebody has splashed some grey green watercolour on them. These are unsaleable in this country that we live in, where people expect everything perfect and for next to nothing as well. And then they moan like so and so if you almost said buggery there. If you dare to suggest that you actually use some crop protection, i.e. spraying, because that's the only way to stop this sort of greeny sooty mould that they get on them. But it doesn't stop the apple tasting good, doesn't stop it storing. So we'll be picking about 4 boxes of these into store. We're not going to attempt to sell any of these because they're all, if I'd given them another couple of shots of fungicide earlier in the year, they'd be saleable. But we could sell these when we were selling face to face at the farmers markets, but now we're selling to retail. Customers won't look at them. So we're going to pull most of these out actually and replace them with pears, because they're less work, less money, but less work, and that's what matters more to us at this stage in our lives. And but we'll keep some for ourselves. So we'll be picking over the nicest of these, probably 4 boxes for us, for private customers who appreciate what these are, and for what we want for ourselves, and the rest will be boxed up and they'll go to my friend Mr. Howard for cider. Anyway, I'll just finish this tasty pear, reflecting on the pleasures of autumn, and then I better get on and do some more work.